Thank you, everybody, for inviting us, for making our presentation. A huge group of experts have worked to prepare this presentation. Obviously, we are at the very beginning of our master planning, and we are going to show you the first results. I would like to say, first of all, the greetings of our mayor, Tunsoyer, who is a very innovative mayor, and his heart is very much with the environment and with bringing in new solutions to develop cities together with nature. So there are several slides which I'm going to just skip simply because, yes, my colleagues have already skipped them. So to prepare the plan, we run until now 2 workshops. The first workshop was about the vision, why we are doing this expo site. That was the first very important question for us. We wanted to know as a team why we are doing this, just for making it, or do we look for new solutions for our city, inspiring other cities, developing the economy? This really helped us very much. So the first workshop was an internal workshop, and that was dedicated to find out why we are doing this mega project in our city. We found a number of answers. I'm going to summarize those to you in a minute. And then we invited 6 different high-quality companies, designing companies in Turkey, and we ran a design charrette workshop. That was the idea of one of our consultants from the university, Izmir High Technology University. And it was very successful because we have very limited time. You will see it's a massive site with very unique difficulties, but also very unique opportunities. So to bring in more brains, more ideas, more capacity into the master planning phase, we utilized this design charrette method, which was, we think, very successful to bring in many ideas. And then our experts who are here now work very hard to digest all that information, all the outcomes, and come up with the idea to meet our vision. I think I can move on to the next slide. I just have to discover how. Okay, there we go. There are some pictures. This is the vision development workshop, and this is the bigger design charrette workshop, as I said, where we brought together 6 different companies together. I'm going to show more of this map to you today, but first of all, to let you know, the area is not yet owned by our municipality. We are running a very comprehensive expropriation program. Here you see the timeline. The good news is, things are going very well, and we progress according to the timeline. For us, this will be a green transformation project. So the whole area, nearly 70% of the area where all the international gardens will take place are covered by houses now. These are faster developed houses which are no longer suitable for living. We are in an earthquake zone, and we have to anyway transform this area into something else. So we just, through Expo project, we fastened these projects, and our expropriation teams are working hard to meet the deadlines. And this will be a whole green transformation project. Maybe I should tell the last thing which I have to say right now. Our Expo site will remain 80% as a green area. So we are creating a whole new permanent, massive, big, it's more than 100 hectares, the whole area. We doubled the site. And we will remain this area, keep this area as a massive green area. And you can see the historical development of the area. It has been a beautiful riparian habitat, a natural stream, and over the years, it turned into a development area that is entirely an unplanned development area. But if we go beyond that, if we go to the 19th century, the area has been a very important wing of the city, because you see to the right the corridors, that the ancient corridors that transferred the water to the city. And in our expo site, you will still see these ancient corridors which carried the water to the city of Izmir from the mountains. So you will see a lot of remnants of those ancient constructions within the site. There are several other issues. So the area has been always an olive orchard, vineyards, and agricultural area, pastures. And we will you will see in our final expo site a lot of this. We know how these structures are actually, simply because these structures are around in the wider neighborhood of Izmir. You can still these stone constructions, so we will replicate many of those which are actually nature-based solutions from our era. So it is quite at the heart of the city. Here you see a bigger scale map of the city of Izmir. This is the bay in the middle, and then our city is located around the bay, and the core population of the city is in the southeastern rim of the bay. So this is precisely where the expo site. So the expo site is located in an area which currently divides two beton blocks of the city, urbanized areas of the city. When the project is accomplished, the area is going to turn in an area which connects two different neighborhoods of the city through green infrastructure. The ecological corridor concept is not something we designed just for this area. In our new strategic plan, we identified 5 different corridors, which are eventually link all the green areas of the city with each other, but also with the fantastic rural landscapes around the city. We are very lucky because Izmir is surrounded by very well-preserved natural habitats, maquis, forests, wetlands. Like in the Gediz Delta, 10% of the world population of flamingos live at the delta of this small stream where our expo site. You can see flamingos year-round. So the whole idea is bringing back those natural habitats into the city, but also making possible for the people of Izmir to walk or to bike directly without being interrupted by traffic directly to these rural areas. So the ecological corridors we are establishing will function that. Of course, this is a medium-term plan, and perhaps this expo site will be one of the areas where we will finalize this vision. If you look at to the other infrastructure, transport infrastructure, the area is also located very well in the middle of other type of transportations. It's like 5 minutes driving to the harbor. It's connected to the international airport of Izmir through fast train, and we are now constructing a specific stop for the fast train, which will connect the harbor, the expo site, and the city center and the harbor. So it's very well connected through public transport, and a lot of transport via cars and bus, public transport are also going through the site. So it's right in the middle of the city, but it's a vast area which we will convert to a green area. Again, you see here the possibilities we have for public transport to the sea, to the harbor, to the airport, and to the other parts of the city. And as I said before, the area is really surrounded by many sightseeings, the UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Ephesus, Pergamon, and the forthcoming new UNESCO World Heritage Sites are appearing now in Izmir. We have 4 candidate areas. One of them is the ancient harbor city, Kemeraltı. The other one is the Gediz Delta, etc. So it's really in a fabulous historical area. In fact, the area is told being home of Homer, one of the first pioneers of modern literacy recognized in the world. Homer has a very long text describing this river's original state, which of course inspires our design. So, and here you can see the full catchment. If you look at closer to the area, it's a very heterogeneous landscape. You see at the upper part, big green blocks, which will be kept as green areas. There will be no construction. Also, legally, we cannot make constructions there. These will be the areas where we will have characteristics of different biogeographic regions that meet in Turkey, because Turkey is located in a very interesting area. We have in the north the typical Euro-Siberian flora, deciduous trees, but in the south and in the west we have the Mediterranean flora, a typical Mediterranean landscape. But in central Turkey, East Turkey, and southeast East Turkey, then we have the steppe climate, which resembles Central Asia and Southeast Arabia. So it's basically a meeting point of all these different floristic areas. So just because of that, also origins of many horticultural plants come from Anatolia, Turkey, as you, I'm sure, know. And this area will be a mirror of this landscape diversity of Anatolia and the origins of many species. We are lucky because the area has very steep southern slopes and northern slopes. So for Japan, for instance, we are going to offer an area from northern slopes where we can grow a lot of deciduous trees from Japan's climate. Just contrary, for Arabic countries, we will offer southern slopes where we can have steppe vegetation, semi-desert vegetation, much easier to grow. So we are going to play with all these different slopes, and our teams have carefully mapped these slopes to make the master plan. We have north-facing, south-facing areas, but the blue areas are north-facing parts, and then the other parts are south-facing. So we are offer different countries, different possibilities, which are closer to their natural climate. Again, I'm not going to go into details of this today. Water is an issue because we are talking about not only making an expo site, but also restoring a river. And it's not an easy task because we are not restoring this river in a rural area. We are doing this right in the middle of the city. So flood is definitely something we have to avoid. And to do that, our teams have designed many techniques to assure that the landscape is turned gradually back to its original state. This is the current state of the river, and we are going to utilize different techniques to break the shell and build temporary constructions from rammed earth, which will allow natural vegetation coming into this area, and eventually we expect that natural vegetation will come back, and we identified several water resources for the area. Some of the area will be returned back to its original state, and of course some of the areas, as you will see in the master plan, will be semi-artificial, simply to make it more accessible for the visitors. Before this project, actually, we had several studies about the area, so we didn't start from scratch to do the master plan. There was even a competition to understand the area and to come up with ideas how we can restore this beautiful landscape to become a park, a semi-natural park. And we have used all these different solutions in our master plan that I'm going to show to you. So here you can see 5 different landscapes of our province, of the city of Izmir: the wetland, the woodland, indigenous production landscapes, which are landscapes where artisanal agriculture is taking place, or even now, more widespread agricultural production, and then the urban environment. So the area has the possibility to bring all these different landscapes into it. And here you can see we identified some example landscapes, the wetlands, the forest, the shrublands, the indigenous landscapes. And here there will be a mosaic of different landscapes, cultural landscapes, stone houses, olive pastures, the wetland ecosystem. So here we will not only see different botanical sections of wider Turkey, Iran, Anatolia, Euro-Siberian, and Mediterranean, but also more locally, nature-friendly solutions to use the land will be mirrored in the area, and we really work in a very fine scale to design that. So the whole idea of this is to create a circular landscape which is inspired by the circular culture idea that we invented a year before at the UCLG World Culture Summit. The idea of circular culture says that to change our connection with the world, we have to be in harmony with things. And what are these things? First of all, we have to be harmony with each other, different ideas, different perspectives. If we are not harmony with each other, we can't be with harmony with anything. So harmony is a key issue, but we have to start from harmony with each other. And then we have to be harmony with other species, with the ecosystem, with the world, with the planet. So we have to be in harmony with nature. What I said is about now, but how about being in harmony with the past, and how about being in harmony with the future, being in harmony with the change? So the circular culture idea says that if we are in harmony with each other and with nature, but at the same time, if we are in harmony with the past, with our past, but also harmony with change, because nature changes, everything changes. So we also have to be flexible enough to change our mind, to change our culture. Then we can talk about the circular culture. This is the core philosophy of this project. This will be a physical landscape where we would like to demonstrate harmony with nature, harmony with each other, harmony with the past, and harmony with the future. So we are going to have new things, new technology, but also nature-based solutions from our history. We will demonstrate harmony with nature and harmony with each other. And then hopefully we will be able, if we succeed, we'll be able to claim that we created a landscape of circular culture. Hopefully we'll, inshallah, we will manage doing that. So of course, to succeed this, we will require a lot of routes, biking routes, walking routes. For elder people, we will require areas where electricity, small cars, vehicles will help people to see different parts of the site. So here you see the preliminary design of all kind of different routes, shuttle routes, car parking areas. The area is going to have at least 3 main entrance points, the biggish black dots, and then 8 small entry points, which will connect the expo site to 11 neighborhoods surrounding the site. So people living in the area will be the primary users of this area, not only during the expo, but also after the expo. So we are planning these needs from now. So this is the first level look at the massive master plan, which we are still developing. But here you will see the first sketch. As I said at the beginning, the green areas at the upper part will remain there. They are very different. Although they are all green areas, they are very different. The one to the left is a natural Mediterranean forest enclave. For some reason, nobody developed this area. It's one of the best natural vegetation you can see around Izmir. It's consist by old trees, deciduous trees. We will keep this as a school to show people, to show our visitors how originally this area looked, because this is a mirror of past. If you go to this area, we see how the whole valley looked like 200 years before. It's a very important area. So therefore, the spot to the left, south, that will be the function. The one is a very interesting area, which makes us very brave with this project, because that area used to be houses, 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 and houses until 8 years before. But our municipality has expropriated and demolished the houses. Why? Because it was very dangerous. It's a very steep area, and geologically, it was an unsafe area. So we expropriated and demolished, and we are now turning it to a green area as part of this project. But more interestingly, at the top of this green area, you have the Pagos Kadife Kale Castle, which is the old castle of the city of Izmir, and the area will reach from the area to an ancient landscape, and the whole in between, the corridor, will be the area which we will develop as international houses. But because we have these different slopes, southern slopes, northern slopes, we will be able to offer to different countries more unique possibilities. It's not going to be like a flat area. This is for Arabia, this is for Japan, this is for Germany. We will go to countries and say that, this vegetation, this microclimate here is more suitable to your gardens, to your culture, to your topography. What do you think? If you're interested, we will design the area specifically. So we'll have a tailor-made marketing for countries if we succeed. If we cannot, we'll offer it to other countries, of course. So if I come to closer to the master plan, at the core is obviously the riparian vegetation, which we are going to restore. There will be a lot of circles, because to be in harmony with each other, we have to meet with no barriers, with no interruptions. So there will be a number of mega circles where people will be able to meet, give concerts, make music, make paintings, make theater. So the area will allow to people come sporadically together, meet each other, talk to each other, and you see the entrance point of the train in the area. And I'm not going to go into details, but this study is accomplished in a very fine scale, and the international gardens will be located in the plain, at least some of them. And then you see here, the landscape is a lot more steep in this part, but then there is a lot more water for growing trees, deciduous trees. This landscape is much more convenient, and therefore we will offer this area largely to European countries with more humid vegetation. Some sketches. The walls here will be constructed by using the ancient Mediterranean wall construction techniques, of course, as much as we can, and we will try to replicate the indigenous architectural designs from Eastern Aegean, and all the plants, apart from the international gardens, which connects different sections, will be native plants, so they won't be just green spaces. They will also be ecologically functional green spaces. And this is a very fast look at, and you see some of our circles on which we are planning. We also have a intention guide. We wanted to call it intention guide. And I wanted to, this guide is going to explain the circular culture, the circularity idea, what we would like to have, and that will be available in our website. And you will see how, so we also would like to incorporate the sustainability section into this guide. So we would like to bring all this information together in this guide. And of course, we will also have, hopefully at some point, a mobile application.
I think it's great to see the progress that is being made. In the last meeting, you changed the location to this location, and you've given yourself a hard job, yes, because the site is a difficult site for Expo. But you have a plan and you're putting it in, and I like the thinking that you're putting into the development of this, especially things like how to turn a concrete water channel into something that will fit nicely within an Expo. And you will face, I'm sure, a similar challenge for how you manage the road that runs through and so on. But thank you for the update, and we really appreciate that and look forward to seeing it in Izmir again soon. Thank you.